Your message says, read. That was 2 hours ago. No reply, no typing bubble, nothing. Just silence. And somewhere in your skull, an ancient alarm just went off. The same alarm that fires when you burn your hand on a stove. That's not a metaphor. It's not just in your head. Neuroscientists have watched it happen on brain scans. Being ignored by someone you love lights up your brain the same way as a physical injury. We call it the silent treatment. But your nervous system doesn't call it that. It calls it an emergency. So today, we're going to answer a question almost everyone has asked at 2 a.m., staring at a ceiling. Why does being ignored hurt this much? Turns out, almost everyone knows this pain personally. 3 out of 4 people say they've received the silent treatment from someone they love. 2 out of 3 admit they've dished it out themselves. So this isn't a niche problem. It's one of the most universal experiences of being human. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why it hijacks your brain so effectively and why dismissing it as not a big deal is scientifically wrong. To understand this, we need to meet 2 small regions buried deep in your brain. They're about to become the main characters of this story. First, the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. Try saying that 5 times fast. Let's just call it the dACC. Think of it as your brain's alarm system. It doesn't process the raw sensation of pain, like the sharpness of a tack. It processes the distress of it. The ouch, I don't like this signal. Second player, the anterior insula. This region handles gut-level feelings, pain, hunger, disgust, even empathy. It's what turns a signal into a felt experience, into suffering you can actually feel. Here's the twist. These 2 regions don't just respond to physical pain. They fire just as strongly, sometimes stronger, when you're socially excluded. Same alarm, same control tower, different trigger. This isn't a guess. It's one of the most cited studies in social neuroscience. Dr. Naomi Eisenberger and her team proved it with a clever experiment. They called it the cyberball experiment. A participant plays a simple game of catch with 2 other players online. Except those players are actually just a computer program. After a few throws, the game quietly changes. The other 2 players stop passing to the participant. They just throw between themselves, over and over. It's just a video game. Fake players, 0 stakes. And yet, within minutes, brain scans show the dACC and insula lighting up like a 5-alarm fire. The brain doesn't know the difference between meaningless game and real rejection. It just knows, excluded. So why would evolution build such a sensitive alarm? The answer takes us back about 200,000 years. Back then, the tribe was everything. Food, protection, warmth, mates, survival. All of it depended on staying connected to your group. Getting cast out wasn't just uncomfortable. It was a death sentence. So your ancestors who felt intense pain from exclusion, pain sharp enough to make them fix the relationship immediately, survived. The ones who shrugged it off didn't. That wiring got passed down, generation after generation, all the way to you, right now, staring at a phone, waiting for 3 little dots to appear. Your brain isn't broken. It's running a 200,000-year-old survival program. It just doesn't know that being ignored on Instagram isn't the same as being left for the tigers. Okay, so the alarm goes off. But what does the silence actually take from you? Psychologist Kipling Williams, the leading expert on ostracism, found it attacks 4 fundamental needs: belonging, self-esteem, control, and meaningful existence. Under normal conditions, these gauges sit comfortably in the green. The moment someone goes silent on you, all 4 gauges crash. You don't belong. You must have done something wrong. You have no way to fix it. And worst of all, you feel completely invisible. Williams found something even stranger. Even when people were ostracized by a group they hated, he tested this with people rejected by groups like the Klan. It still hurt. The brain doesn't care who's excluding you. Excluded is excluded. And here's the part that makes the silent treatment uniquely cruel. It's not just painful, it's confusing. Your brain doesn't just register the hurt. It launches an investigation. With a fight, you at least know what's wrong. With silence, you're left guessing. And that guessing, that rumination, eats up enormous mental energy. Focus drops. Sleep suffers. The ambiguity itself becomes part of the wound. This is why the idea that silence is the mature way to avoid a fight doesn't hold up. It's not a peaceful alternative to conflict. It's a different, often deeper kind of harm, denying someone the basic chance to make things right. And this pain doesn't stay abstract. Chronic loneliness and social rejection are linked to a 26% higher risk of early death. That's a risk comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Emotional wounds leave physical scars. Now, here's where the story takes a genuinely bizarre turn. If social pain and physical pain share the same circuitry, could a physical painkiller actually dull emotional pain? In 2010, researcher Nathan DeWall ran an experiment to find out. For 3 weeks, one group took a daily dose of acetaminophen, regular Tylenol. The other group took a placebo. Neither group knew which one they were getting. Then, everyone experienced social rejection. The placebo group's brains lit up exactly as expected, dACC and insula blazing. But the Tylenol group, their brain activity in those same regions was measurably lower. They even reported feeling less hurt. Let that sink in. A pill designed for headaches and sore muscles dulled the sting of rejection. That's not a coincidence. That's proof. Social pain and physical pain aren't just similar. They run on the same biological hardware. So the next time someone says heartbreak isn't real pain, remember this study. Your brain quite literally doesn't draw a hard line between the two. So let's put the pieces together. Your brain evolved a pain alarm to keep you connected to your tribe. That alarm, the dACC and insula, doesn't distinguish between a broken bone and a broken relationship. Silence threatens your belonging, your self-worth, your control, your sense of meaning, and the damage is real enough that a headache pill can measurably dull it. Which brings us to the person actually giving the silent treatment. It might look like strength, cool, controlled, unaffected, but often it's the opposite. Many people go silent not because they're strong, but because they don't know how to handle the conflict. They're overwhelmed too. The silent treatment can become a trap for both people, one suffering from an invisible wound, the other hiding from a conversation they don't know how to start. Here's the good news. This alarm has an off switch. It's not complicated, and it's not magic. It's communication, even a short, honest sentence. I'm upset, I need a minute, can quiet the alarm faster than hours of silence ever could. Because underneath all the neuroscience, the message is simple. Your brain built connection into its very definition of survival. Which means the ache you feel in silence isn't weakness. It's proof that you're wired, deeply and permanently, for other people. So next time you're tempted to go quiet on someone you love, or you find yourself on the receiving end of that silence, ask yourself this. Is the silence really protecting anyone, or is it just letting an old, ancient alarm ring a little longer than it needs to?